What's going on, everybody? Dogman Dan here. We are in Warframe. We're talking about the Panthera. I'm now at rank 30 with the Panthera. Sorry it took me a few days. I was really not feeling well. Work has been hell this week. There's just been a lot of things going on. Okay, so let's talk about this Panthera that everybody hates so much, and that I said I wasn't really sure what I felt about it in the beginning on my first impressions. I thought it was cool. I thought it may go away. For a while there in the process of leveling this, I was ready to just put it to the side and say screw it, it's just not worth it. It does require a haiku, and it does require the miter, both which on themselves are very good weapons, and we can really talk about those in other builds. I really haven't put those builds out, but I will talk about those in other builds. I mean, they are both very good weapons, and to some point, when you put those two into building this particular one, initially there is some real disappointment in that, because you've got that farming that's involved in trying to get, especially the miter, having to farm out on Phobos, I believe it is, and it can take a while to get that, and you're giving up a really good weapon to go to what seems to be a mediocre mid-grade weapon. Now, that's not to say this isn't a good weapon, because it is a good weapon. It just takes a little bit to figure out how to make it work. You're not going to be taking this to end game level. I can't say that for sure. I'm still doing some testing. There's still more things involved. This is my first level 30 of it. I haven't decided yet whether I want to proceed or not. I'll show you how my build currently is here in just a couple minutes. Whether I want to proceed beyond what its basic build is now, or not, you know. But and knowing me, you know, I'm probably going to take it beyond this basic and take it and see how far we can go with it. But so there's some good things and there's some bad things to it. Yeah, the damage itself compared to the miter, we know that it's nowhere near as good on the main damage, right? We know he has 70/10 puncture, 20 impact, 10 status chance. It's a okay fire rate at 1.7, but it does use 5 bullets, if you will, for the blade every time you shoot it on the main weapon. And then there's, of course, the secondary or the right mouse button weapon, which is the saw, if you will. And that thing has got like a really super limited range, so you got to be up and close and personal. So this is also going to be based off of certain types of frames that can really run this and take use of this. Now, I am using Volt in the background, and we're going to talk about that in a minute. I've run it with Loki, I've run it with Mesa, and now I'm running it with Volt. And for people that main Volt, like let's say Janzer, you guys all know Janzer. I'm sure he could really come up with some really unique things with this particular setup. So I'm not a huge Volt player. I haven't played him in so long, so I put something together just to play, so bear with me. Anyway, now here's what's nice about it, as you already are watching in the video. With Volt's shield, you get an unlimited range on that saw, on that right mouse, the alternate secondary fire mode, if you will. Now, I don't have all the mods on in this video because it wasn't rank 30, so at the end you're going to see the mods that I'm going to end up with, and it's going to also play into making this thing a little bit better than what it already is in the video. Okay, so now you've got your main weapon, which can do some really good damage in the high numbers, and we can talk about that here. So how I've ended up coming up with this is, if you're looking at it, it shows the accuracy at 29.2 because I have a heavy caliber on it, but it's not really that bad. That's really just the secondary from the multi-shot that shoots off a little bit. So if you're playing it at short to mid-range, you're not even going to notice it. Fire rate is up, status chance up just a little bit, but we've got a good impact, decent puncture, and an amazing slash now out of this weapon, just the way I've got it set up if you're looking at that in there. And so it does come into light, but definitely Volt with the shield allows you to just play around with this thing a lot more, very flexible. Loki with his invisibility allows you to really get up close and personal with those guys and just tear them to shreds. without them seeing it. You know, Mesa with her shooting gallery where she disarms, well, it doesn't disarm, but uh, you know, the weapons get jammed. It allows you to get up close and personal and take them out, and you still got a really good setup on it. So, you know, there are some frames it's going to work better with versus frames it's not going to work better with. Like I said, I can't say in the end at this point that you're going to take it to end game, what people would consider end game. That's yet to be seen. We know that DE did in the update 5.10.1 update. They buffed the alternate fire, so the secondary slash damage was increased from 75 to 225 on the right hand. They increased the secondary fire status chance a bit, and so you'll see more bleed out and all that now. The Panthera's secondary fire will now stagger enemies as well on the impact, which is really nice against like the heavy gunners, against the bombards, those types of things. And then increased secondary fire rate from 150 to 200. So it's really a good thing what they did to it. So with that said, let me just throw this up on the screen here so you guys can see where I end up with this. Max duration, max fang fusillade, max split chamber to get the multi-shot out there. 2 below max on the heavy caliber, so 14 out of 16 on the ranking, just because I don't have the mods to rank that all the way up, and I've never really felt like I needed to go beyond that. And then finally Shred, which is the one mod I didn't have on when I was making the video. But Shred's going to give me my punch through, so it's going to allow me to go through the walls a little bit. It's going to allow me to go through multiple enemies. It's going to allow me to go through the barriers, stuff like that. So when we're shooting at long range, we've got some extra ability to take them out when they're hiding behind like a wall or something. So that's where I'm at the first part, and as you can see, there's still 3 open slots. So Former would be involved in building this beyond that. And that's about it. So I can't say that it's going to play for everybody, and I can't say that it's going to be worth you getting the miter and the haiku and trading them in for this at this point. If there's maybe some more buffs on the primary side of it, then maybe it would be more worth it to people. But yeah, I mean, it's not a bad weapon, and it does play pretty nice. So I'll play around with it a little bit more in some more videos. We'll see about taking it to higher levels. For the most part, I was running 25 to 35s, somewhere in between there, so it was pretty decent level. If you have any questions or comments, please do feel free to leave them below. Otherwise, I'll catch you guys in the next episode. Thanks for watching, as always. We'll see you soon.